Hi everyone. So today I've got Amanda with me and she will describe the experience of the session that she had with me recently. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it, Amanda?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So let's start without any further ado. So what was happening in your life when you came for a session?
So what happened? So I got a new manager of the team, and where I've been at my workplace for about 2 years. When the new manager came in, he started to make me feel that I wasn't very good at my job and started to have really bad imposter syndrome. And I felt that I couldn't stand up to him, and I wasn't being as assertive as I usually am. So, very unlike me. And so I decided that I needed to explore a bit further as to why I was feeling the way I was feeling.
Hmm, sounds a good time to start exploring. So what was actually your problem? Just like explain a bit more in detail.
So the problem was about um, really not being able to stand up for myself in the workplace, not being able to kind of describe my opinion and get across how I felt about things. I would feel nervous and anxious. I'd have physical sensations, and I would leave meetings feeling really deflated and upset with myself for not being able to speak up, to get my opinion over, to be able to disagree with my new manager.
And
And
how did that all feel? Like not being able to stand up for yourself and yeah, how did it all feel?
it felt pretty rubbish, to be honest, because I would come away from those meetings feeling really angry at myself, upset. I felt worthless, and um, just a general sense of depression and um, just not feeling very good at my job.
Hmm. That's not a nice way of feeling, is it? Especially when you know that you are a specialist in your field, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. No, I did not feel like a specialist after coming off of some of the meetings.
And before you came to me, how did you try to fix this problem? And yeah, what did you do to fix it?
Um, I would try and give myself pep talks in the morning before work. I tried, um, physical activity, like getting out at lunch, taking walks, just to kind of calm down and reframing. That usually works for me. Um, but this time, it really wasn't. I'd sometimes come back from my walks feeling worse because I'd kind of berate myself for not being able to stand up for myself. Um, so yeah, so before I came to you, it was, I tried my usual tricks, but nothing was working.
Hmm. And you mentioned that you seeked other help as well before me.
Yes, I did. So I did have some therapy at the start of this year and at the end of last year. So two different therapists, um, for slightly different reasons. But again, I didn't find it very helpful. And they did pick up that I should be more assertive, even with my last manager. Um, he was a bit different to my current manager, so I think they did help for some of that. But I just wasn't. The therapy didn't help for a more authoritative figure, which is what I'm finding myself reporting into at the moment.
Okay, makes sense. Um, what were your thoughts about just general, like a hypnosis or conversational hypnosis, coaching, before it came to me as well?
So I'd had hypnosis before, a few years ago, and I enjoyed that, but I'd never had the conversational hypnosis. So came into the session very open-minded actually, um, but not really knowing what to expect. So it was I kind of was expecting the steps again, walking down those steps. So when that didn't happen, I was wondering how it was going to work. But actually, during the session, I did feel more and more relaxed and, not in a complete hypnotic state like before, but I think it was a much more comfortable state.
Okay. And how would you describe the entire experience with me?
So the entire experience was very easy. Um, I felt very relaxed. Um, I found it easy to talk about things that I do find difficult. Um, I like the way that, you led the whole session to get deeper and deeper, but at a pace that, you could tell that I was comfortable with so that we could get to the underlying issues. Um, so overall, yes, very, very different to my previous experience of hypnosis. And I think I much preferred this way. Um, it took longer than I thought, but again, it was, you know, you're very patient, asked probing questions that were difficult but weren't too difficult to answer or to think about. So you kind of knew when to probe and when to back off, which was always helpful because I've previously in other therapies, they just kind of go for the jugular, and you don't. So overall, yeah, it was a really good experience and it's really helped me.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, how are you feeling now after the sessions, 2 weeks after the session?
So the night of the session, I felt very sleepy and relaxed, and the day after, I woke up feeling very productive. And I did get a lot done that day actually, whereas I didn't realize how much the situation at work was actually affecting my personal life. And I wasn't actually wanting to do a lot apart from sit on the sofa and watch TV. But in the 2 weeks since having the session, like I said, I woke up feeling productive. Um, Immediately, I think it was either the Monday or the Tuesday, I was assertive to my boss. Um, and I have continued to be, and I've actually got my way with some things, not everything. It's a work in progress, but I definitely have got some progress there. I feel he's a lot more respectful to me. Um, and my productivity, both at work and at home, has increased dramatically.
Oh, that's a good result, I'd say.
Yes, definitely.
I'm very happy to hear that as well. And yeah, when you think about your life now and the new assertiveness that you've discovered and everything, what is the most that you look forward to?
I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is the ability to be able to speak my mind, when it comes to people who like to kind of assert their authority more than others. That's probably a polite way of saying it. It's again, there's still some work to be done, as assertiveness takes practice, but I think it's given me the good building blocks to continue to do that. So yeah, looking forward to actually being able to give my opinion over and speak my mind without fear of retaliation.
That's good. That's something you mentioned at the end of a session as well, about the amount of insights that you got from these, I think it was 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
can you share?
Okay. So yeah, there was, I mean, the whole session wasn't about obviously me being assertive, and and I think it was probably only the first half an hour that we actually spoke about my new boss. Um, the rest of the session, yes, was some very insightful conversation about things that I hadn't necessarily put together, things that I haven't necessarily remembered, um, memories that I've suppressed, and kind of talking about them and having those leading questions got me, it was insightful to see how everything kind of comes together and how it shapes us going forward, and to be more aware of the little things actually do matter.
Hmm. And how does that compare with all your previous therapy sessions, the talking therapy sessions?
So the talking therapy sessions that I had, both therapists did not like to talk about the past. They were very much, what can we do now in the present? Um, and I think a big part of those sessions missed all of the history, because we are what we've been, and I think to neglect that part of a person, you're neglecting a whole chunk of help that you can give somebody as a therapist. I think history does matter, and it needs to be explored, because what you've done previously shapes who you are today.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, so and what is the most important thing you'd say from the session with me that you've achieved?
Most important thing is probably actually not the assertiveness, it's probably the productivity. So, for example, I have been putting off cleaning out my cupboards for months. I've not been able to use my downstairs toilet for months because it's currently my makeshift loft. And yesterday, I have taken everything out of my downstairs toilet, and I've cleaned up my cupboards, and I've moved things around, and everything that I need, everything I don't need, which is quite a lot, is now going to the dump. So it was a huge weight. So it's actually that productivity, something that I've sat on for months and months. In just 2 weeks, I've managed to tackle by myself.
That's good. Some additional results, then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Always good to get some bonuses.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, Amanda. So, like overall, would you recommend and why would you recommend me to other people?
So I would definitely recommend you. And I would recommend you because of the way that you conduct the sessions. So you're very respectful, patient, um, and you've got a willingness to help. And that really does come across. So I think you make people feel at ease and comfortable, so that that people can delve in to the underlying issues that is causing them their current problems. So yeah, 100% recommend you.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very pleased that you have experienced major results and shifts, and not just about the problem that you came for, but obviously other little bits in your life, which is, always good. And you don't really sometimes understand that underneath that, problem that you experience, there's actually more little bits that need to be entangled for that to be completely released. And yeah, that's one of the things that I'm kind of trying to achieve with my clients, that I'm not only just looking at that one problem. If something comes up, we just delve into it, because obviously that thing that came up is important, isn't it? So,
Yeah, definitely.
yay. Thank you very much for your time, Amanda, and I hope that you will get to completely clear your house from the stuff you don't need. And yeah, have an amazing assertive career.
Excellent. And thank you so much for your help, Dinara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.